Well, here we are again. Another. There's a speeding pizza delivery guy. Another somewhat gloomy day here near the Blue Ridge Mountains, but it is a nice day. And once again, just like about once every 5 days, I have to cut the grass. Probably ought to get some goats or something, some sheep. I was at a festival today where they had various vendors set up, and they had it was kind of a farming related thing, and there were some people who raise sheep, these little tiny sheep. I don't know what the breeds are, and they're apparently pretty good grass cutters. If they could take care of all this shit, I'd be pretty happy about that. But anyway, so got some changes. Couple new things. Some very unexpected things. Didn't intend to change my audio system. Intended to keep it as it was for quite a while with the Klipsch Forte 3s and my beloved Yamaha AS1100, which I still think is one of the greatest amps of all time. I've heard a lot of amps, and man, I'll tell you what, that's my favorite. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just my particular ears, but other people seem to be agreeing with me. There's something special about that. But anyway, I'm starting outside because I don't want to give away what it is I did. I did something financially foolish, but well, hell, I guess what I did is right in the freaking title, even though I haven't titled the video yet. But anyway, okay, so I purchased a pair of Klipsch Cornwall IIIs, and I wasn't intending to do it. And I'm in the process of listening and putting together some thoughts in order to do a review of them. And I'm not ready to do a review because what I've learned through the years is, particularly with speakers, but really any piece of equipment, is that I'm looking for buck. We have a couple buck that come out about this time of the evening, big buck, and they fight. It's great. But with any equipment, I've learned that initial impressions, after 2-3 days, maybe even a week, are really not the final impressions of an audio product. You really need some time, some quality time. You need things to settle in. And I'm not talking about break-in period. That's a whole other topic, which I'm not a big believer in break-in. And that's a topic for another video, but I'm just talking about something about, you really can't get the sense of what something sounds like for weeks, if not months. So I'm waiting to do a review on the Cornwall IIIs. But let me go inside and show you. I've made some changes for those of you who I very much appreciate, who have watched many, if not most, of my videos. You recall that I had this sound room in the basement, and I'm stuck down here for right now. It's kind of a quasi unfinished basement, and my nephew lives down here temporarily. So I've just got my little corner down here, and I've tried to make it a little better. And I'll tell you what, let's go look at it first. Let's go look at it first, and then I'll explain what I did. And it really, that's another topic. It is true for those people who have sort of criticized my sound room. I kind of agree to some extent that you need an environment, that's really conducive to relaxing, and it helps to have a better environment than I had. So I try to clean up as best I could. So I'll explain to you what I did in a minute, but here it is. Here's my new sound room, and there are the Cornwall IIIs. And I have, let me tell you what's new. So, here are the Cornwall IIIs. Let's get a look behind them. They are big. I can't really get back there. So this cabinet, is that what you call it, a cabinet? This entertainment center here is new. And it's got lots of storage that I needed before to keep the dust off of things. Hang on a second. Okay, just wanted to wait for that. This is an old record. Just wanted to wait for that song to finish. Okay, so what's new? Well, I had a budget, and I want to tell you how I came to purchase the Cornwall IIIs. I'm going to get to that because there are my Forte IIIs right there. They're kind of lonely. I don't know what to do with them yet. I love them. Can't get rid of them. So, see, I don't have a script here. Let me just real quick run down what I did and then talk about the Cornwall. So, new lighting. Lighting was the key. This area over here was dark. The area that you're looking at where I had my previous stereo. And I had these racks, these triangular shaped racks over there to hold the equipment, and it was real annoying trying to switch out equipment and getting behind there and doing the cable. So I wanted something like this where everything is kind of laid out flat. And I love it because you can get to things, right? You have access to things, without contorting yourself. And I like the look of it better as well. So I got that new cabinet, and I got it from Costco. Costco is the same place I got these from. These guys here, these guys here are effectively bookshelves, really. They weren't intended to be an entertainment center stand. But so this has plenty of drawer space. It's got these sliding barn door style things right here, and that's where I keep the Furman power conditioner. Down there. And the nice thing is at Costco, I don't remember how much the thing cost, but it's super high quality. I mean, the quality is impeccable, and it's already built. Literally, it's heavy as shit, but you have to take it. Once you take it out of the box, it's ready to go. There's nothing more frustrating than building any kind of a cabinet or entertainment center, and quite frankly, the ones you have to build are usually cheap as crap anyway. So I love that. Lighting, well, I bought these relatively inexpensive track lighting things that you can mold and contort to any shape you want, and they're LEDs. And I got these at Lowe's. They were easy to install, so I have it set up so I can have the whole room dark and just have the lights on the system, which is what you're seeing right now. Or I can have those lights off by themselves and have the room lights on and have that area dark. So I kind of like that ambiance. What else is new? Kept the same carpet. Oh, I don't know if I showed this in the previous video, but I hung a carpet up on that wall right there for acoustics, because all there was studs right there, no drywall. You can kind of see that. And And I moved the two shelves that were over here, the triangular bookshelves over here, to hold stuff. There's my record washer and all my audio books, and there's the Akitica, and there's the AS1000, obviously is AS, yeah, A1000, the Yamaha A1000. Nice, good sounding integrated amp. And some other stuff. So, there's the sound room. One day I'll get new chairs. Those are really outdoor chairs, but again, it's all budget related. So I was putting work into the room, and I had a budget, and I got the that cabinet, and put these lights in, and bought that carpet, right? And that was it. That broke the bank, and that's before I bought the Cornwall IIIs. And so I was down at my local audio shop, and while they will sell Klipsch products, because they're a Klipsch dealer, they don't normally have them in the showroom. You know, they'll have some of the junk Chinese Klipsch in there, but not the Heritage series. And but for some reason, they had both the Forte 3s and the Cornwall 3s in. I think they had the Cornwall 3s in because it was a return item, because customer purchased a pair, and there was a ding in the grill. It's very clear. The grill cover had a little poke thing through it. And the customer returned them, and so they had them in the showroom. So I was able to, and I saw them in there. I was in there purchasing something entirely unrelated, and I saw them, and I was like, wow. Now's my chance to listen to the Forte 3s, which I owned, and the Cornwall 3s side by side. And while the way they were set up, it wasn't a very good acoustic environment, and they were both against the wall. They weren't really positioned properly, but it didn't matter because I was able to put them next to each other just to get a sense. And I was more interested in the mids and the highs anyway than I was in the bass. I just wanted to get a sense of what the differences were. And I had the what did they have? They had some system there. I forget the name of it. Blue box or blue. It's that $1,000 hard drive you can buy that it also streams Sonos and not Sonos. It streams Spotify and all the different streaming services, Tidal and various things. Blue something. I forget. You guys probably know what it is. It's basically a $1,000 hard drive, and not for me, but so I was able to pick any songs I wanted to, and I picked the first song, and they had a system that you could switch instantly back and forth between speakers, so I went back and forth. I started out with the Forte 3s, and I was listening to the song, and then I said, okay, switch. And I was down on my knees because I wanted to be at ear level with the mid-range horns and tweeters. And boom, as soon as they switched over to the Cornwall 3s, I was sold. I only needed to hear about 5 seconds of it, really. It was that amazing. And it was such a stark difference. It's not that the Forte 3s are bad. I love them. I loved them. They were my speaker for life, if you remember a few videos back. But there was an amazing difference. I didn't think, and I'm going to get into that in the review because I want to listen to these more, but let me cut to the chase. I bought them. I said sold. And I went ahead and listened to a few more songs, just to verify, but it was all the same. And it was the mid-range and the treble that it was just so different and so amazing that it just sold me. And of course the bass is there too. And so I came home with them. Not the ones that they had in the showroom because they were defective. I wanted brand new ones, so I bought them, and they arrived the next day to the store. And I ordered walnut this time. Very, very nice. I think I had cherry wood last time, but beautiful. Just beautiful. Let's get a look at, I don't know if we can get a look at the back. It's, standard Klipsch stuff. I'm bi-wiring right now. Bi-wiring. So there they are. And I'll wait to discuss, but let me say this about the Cornwall 3s. that they have changed the way I listen to music. And maybe I've just reached a point in life where things are changing, but these speakers single-handedly have changed the way I listen to music, and I'll get into that in more detail later. But I'm actually enjoying more music now and more diversity of music. You see, I pulled out an old jazz album. What the heck album is that? Old. Where is it? There we go. That's what I was listening to. And they've just changed the way I listen to music. I've never listened to music this way before, and I'll just tantalize you with that. I'll leave you with that. And it makes me want to branch out and explore new music that I've never even considered listening to. And that might be one of the best things I can ever say about a product. Really. It's just phenomenal. And anyway, I'll get into more of that later. So let me jump right over. So I got my turntable, my project turntable hooked up. I had that. I was running it through this project vacuum tube phono preamp, but I decided to switch over to the discrete, high quality internal phono preamp of the Yamaha, and I ended up preferring it. So boom, ended up preferring the Yamaha's phono preamp, the AS1100. All right, so I started. These speakers compelled me to start pulling out old albums that I thought were warped, and they're pretty scratched and all that sort of thing. Things I never, I got into this purity thing where everything had to be perfect. New albums, if I'm going to listen to an album, and digital and high def and all this stuff. But these speakers made me want to pull out some really old stuff and not concern myself with scratches, pops, clicks. Not concern myself with high def or recording quality and they just made me want to listen to music. And so that's what I've been doing. It's kind of a revolution for me in the way I listened. And they also made me, I can't explain this, I wouldn't even be able to explain it to you, but they made me want to buy a tuner. And one of the reasons I wanted to buy a tuner is because we do have, where I live, we have some pretty good local radio stations. We have some public radio, and on those public radio, and we have some college radio stations. And on those stations, you get to hear real DJs spinning sometimes esoteric, seldom played tunes, and not only jazz, some classical, but also alternative rock. I don't know if they still call it alternative, but just weird stuff that I'd never knew about before. So I spend a lot of time down here in the basement. I work out. I have a workout exercise room over there, and I sit out on the patio I just came out from. And sometimes I just want to listen to something different and hear new things. And this tuner allows me to do that. And I'm not concerned with the ultimate nth degree of fidelity. And I will say this. It seems that no matter what I listen to, even if it's a crappy station that I can't pull in stereo, I've got to pull it in a mono, it's so hissy, or whether it's these old jazz records with the clicks and pops and the poor recording quality, and although some of them are pretty good quality, but it doesn't matter. They all sound just so damn coherent and so damn good and warm through these speakers. Okay, through the Cornwall IIIs. I just want to listen and experience new things. So, okay, I think I've made that point. So that's what's new. The Cornwall IIIs, the lighting, the cabinet, and the tuner. And what when I wanted to purchase a tuner, I had one actually. I had an old Fisher Studio Standard, and fairly El Cheapo, and it worked fine, but I thought it'd be really cool to match or mate old with new. And not only that, I think it's really cool how Yamaha has kept their classic look. This is the AS1100 is a new product, current product still being sold, right? And you look at that you look at that styling, and you look at this styling here. This tuner from the late 70s, I believe. I haven't really looked up when this was. I have the box back there, actually. But I think it's the late 70s, maybe early 80s. But look at the style. Got the standard Yamaha square VU meters. Got something similar there. You got the same brushed aluminum style face plate, the same kind of rectangular knobs and dials and everything, right? Now look at that. They look like they were made for each other. So I found this tuner on eBay, and the person selling it showed pictures of it lit up and said everything worked. And damn sure enough, everything worked. It came with the original box and the original owner's manual. And the wood grain, the wood finish, there's no scratches, nicks, or dings, and everything. Whoever had this took really good care of it, or either bought it and used it for a year and put it in a box, and it sat there until they died, and their kids sold it, or I don't know. I don't know how it came to be, but this thing is in damn good shape. So I have this hooked up to an antenna. That's actually in my window right there. That's what those wires are right there. And I pick up a lot of good stations. Really, really cool. So that's what's new. These Cornwalls are monsters. I'll tell you what, man, they're huge. I don't know if you can get a sense for how big they are. I guess you can, but they are big. The boxes they came in, I always like to keep boxes, but look at these things. Okay, I mean, they're the two of them on top of each other are 7 feet some tall. And I mean, I can't even store them anywhere. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know why I just turned the camera sideways. It's going to piss people off. Okay, so there's the new room, enjoying the hell out of it, enjoying the hell out of the Cornwall IIIs. Let me leave it with a quick summary of the Cornwall IIIs relative to or as compared with the Forte IIIs that are in there. I'm going to do a full review on them, but the mids and the highs, these things are not okay. Those Forte IIIs were very directional. It took me a long time to get the right toe in. If you towed it in too much, the mid range was too dominant and present, and maybe it got a little too harsh. Not enough. You weren't getting enough highs. It took a while to get, but when I finally got the toe in right, everything's fine. These things seem to be immune from that. I mean, no matter where you go, left and right, the dispersion is just so even and perfect, and the coherency between the tweeter and the mid-range horns, you can't tell. You can't. They just blend flawlessly into one another, and the presence and the warmth of them are just remarkable. And I don't know how to describe it. I've never heard anything like these. I didn't think that and there's no sense of that these are horns. There's just none whatsoever. And I didn't think that was possible. I didn't think it was possible to do. But these are thoroughly modern. Even I love the classic styling of them, but they are just thoroughly modern in terms of their drivers. And they're remarkable. Happy as I can be. I wasn't intending on buying them. It was only because I happened to walk into the showroom on that day, and boom, they had them in there, and I made the mistake of listening to them. It's why I never go into car dealerships. If I have to go to the repair shop, I walk right the hell past the showroom real quick. Right? I mean, really. But happy as I can be, and I will say this, I would probably say in terms of bass on these things, and I'm getting into a review and I didn't intend to do that, but I'll say the bass is perfect. It's great. I would say they don't quite go as deep. Now maybe it's the room and I have to move them around. I would say they don't quite feel like they go as deep as the Fortes. But I don't care about that. Everything is just, the sound is just amazing. And one more thing I'll say about the sound. And this is an experience that I've never had before. Ever. With any speaker. Ever. that I've heard anywhere. I've listened to some pretty expensive ones at friends' houses and also in audio shops throughout my life. When you turn these things up, okay, one night I was listening to Stevie Ray Vaughan, and it was a live Stevie Ray Vaughan. I don't remember the album, and I was sitting down here, and I decided, I do a lot of my listening at fairly low levels, sometimes background, sometimes in the sweet spot, drinking a glass of wine, whatever. I decided to enjoy, because it was live, I think I decided to do full concert level. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes that's part of the experience, right? And with every other speaker that I've ever heard, and even to some degree, the Forte 3s, when you turn it up to a certain point, and I always thought it was my ears, but when you turn it up to a certain point, things get compressed, and the sound changes in some way. And yes, our ears respond that way also, and you kind of want to turn it down. It's like, that's not quite right. I'm losing something here in the sound, right? And I turn this thing up to concert levels, and I'm talking about front row, and the words can't describe it. Nothing happened. It just got louder, but it sounded even better. It was the opposite of what you would expect. It started to sound even better than at low levels or at moderate levels. And when you close your eyes, all I can describe is a wall of sound coming from each speaker. You cannot tell where the tweeters and mid-ranges are. And the sound sounds like, when I say a wall of sound, I mean a wall. Left to right, top to bottom. And yeah, the stereo imaging's there, the separation, you definitely got all that, but it was just, you just don't, it's a freaking wall. It's amazing. I've never heard anything like that from any speaker. I can't imagine a regular dome tweeter being able to do that, even come close to it, with respect to dynamics, with respect, any of it. Lack of compression when you turn it up, amazing. So I've said enough. I said way more. I intended to make a 5-minute video about my new system, and here I am probably 20 minutes into it. I don't know. But I'm thrilled with it, and these Cornwall IIIs are amazing. And I bought them, and I got them home, and I listened. I was so happy with them, and I still am. It's been about 2 weeks now, maybe. And it makes me, I hate to say it, but it makes me think, what am I missing by not having Klipschorns? And there's a brand new redesigned Klipschorn out now. They've sealed the bait. Well, I won't get into that. Go check their website out. Check the new Klipschorn. I'm like, what am I missing? Do I need these things? Do I have? No, I don't need them. I don't have to have them. But God damn, I'm sure glad they weren't in the showroom that day. That's how good the Cornwalls are. So anyway, just thought I haven't made a video in a while. I thought I'd give you an update. Absolutely loving it. Let's go back and find something here. My little. fun.